I want to keep this ball rolling. I really like really like where the last two episodes have gone with this conversation about choice and how you're interacting with even the basic little grunt guys in games, but moving on from that and bringing it back more to a RPG focus, particularly the role-playing element of games like, say, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Deus Ex, in a way. The older ones more than the newer ones. And the Elder Scrolls games. Games where, although you are taking on the role of a hero, it's still very much you, your choice. And the interesting part I find is when I'm going to try and explain this as best I can, because I've already said, like, you're basically you, even though, like, you're Shepard, or you're the Dovahkiin, or what the hell were you in Dragon Age? The first one. Crap. A Grey Warden? There was something more than that, weren't you? Anyway, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say here. The lead role, the protagonist, that's you. But it's not like you as Link. It's you as you. You're choosing your look. You're choosing how you interact. And maybe you're going out to play a certain way. But I always love it when a little bit of you bleeds into your character. And what I mean by that is if, let's say, you're playing as, in my case, I really try to go Renegade in Mass Effect, because I find in that game, unlike many others, Renegade doesn't mean evil. And that is why I really love the Mass Effect series, was that throughout those games, Renegade didn't mean you were evil. In some games, it meant you were more of a douchebag than you would be normally, but it didn't mean that it was the evil option. Sometimes it was the greedy option, the selfish option, the egotistical option, the vengeful option, but then other times it was just the hard-lined option, the non-compromising option, the option where there was no room for negotiation, or where you were standing your ground in spite of yourself, if that makes any sense. But that's what I really enjoyed, is that Renegade sometimes was, for the situation, the right choice, where Paragon didn't help so much. Paragon was although it was good, it was admirable, it was selfless, it was self-sacrificing, and I'd say in some ways it was very self-indulgent, because a lot of times with Paragon, I found, and one reason I didn't enjoy playing that kind of character was it was very holier than thou, white knight, give everybody everything they want, no tears, a world where nobody cries kind of bullshit that just, I couldn't swallow that. Renegade felt more real to me than going full Paragon. But as much as I enjoyed playing Renegade, there would be a lot of times where something would happen. Maybe it was something as simple as, and I'm not saying these were actual things that happened in the game, but as an example, say some character, like a little kid, came up needing money because they were starving and needed food. That's going to tug on my heartstrings a bit, and I'd have to, usually, I'd give in. I'd pull away from that Renegade persona and just cave for a minute and give them some money or an item they needed. There could be somebody who has a problem, and for whatever reason, their issue resonates with me, and I'm like, oh, crap. Now I got to go help this person. I feel compelled to. I just can't help it. I know I'm supposed to be playing the hard-ass Renegade, out for himself guy, but I got to help this person. I just have to. There's no way around it. Or there's a situation where it's like, okay, we've got to destroy this, and a bunch of people are going to die, or we can save a few people, and they're going to get away with this bad device, and it's going to cause way more trouble for us down the line. And I might just go, okay, I should really save those people, and I'd have a dilemma on my hands. It wouldn't be so easy as just like, immediately default to the Renegade option of, nope, blow it up, kill him. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Just didn't always play out that way. And that's where I find it interesting that And I'm sure many people would agree with this. You'll go into a game like that where you have that kind of character-defining moral alignment, and you'll stick to it pretty solid for the first almost half of the game. But eventually you're going to hit points, and you'll break character, so to speak. You will buckle, and you'll end up letting a bit of who you are in this world bleed into the character you've created on the screen. And I think it's just something that you can't help, because even though it's fake, you're still making choices. And even though the impact is never going to be felt on this side of the screen, you still feel something. Like when you're an asshole for the sake of being an asshole, it doesn't feel good. And when you're a good guy, when you help out the little dude and maybe make things better for a less fortunate NPC, you still feel kind of good about that. It's very, appropriately enough, the emotion, or maybe where it comes from, that's probably better to say, is very artificial. Totally artificial, actually. But there's still that emotional attachment, I guess you could say. But it's something that I find very, very interesting. And I'm curious to hear of other examples from you guys. If there are any, there's probably a ton of games that I missed in my descriptions. I've been sticking to 3 that I know well, because those are the easiest for me to relate to. But I'm sure there are hundreds of other examples, given time, that I could come up with that would be just as good as an example, maybe even better. Can't rule that out. But I'd be interested in hearing what you guys think on this. Have you ever had a moment in a game, particularly role-playing, because I think those best fit this theme, where a bit of your personality ended up sort of seeping in to the persona you had created for your character in the game? I'd be very interested in hearing how that's played out for people, or if you've managed to resist that, if you've managed to keep who you are from infecting your digital persona. I guess that's the best way to say that. Infecting makes it sound so negative, though. Should probably used a different word. Anyway, hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. And again, if you did, share it around if you feel like it. Like it. And until next time, my name's Rye. You guys take care of yourselves.